There's a very underrated print-on-demand site out there where I'm getting regular daily sales, yet most people have never even heard about this marketplace. So in this video, I'm going to talk you through Tostadora, which is the website in question. I'm going to tell you why you should start selling on this site. I'll also go over what actually sells on there from my experience. I'll show you how to open a new store, how to upload your designs, and an option to automate the entire upload process to save yourself a lot of time. So why should you actually start selling on Tostadora then? I think one of the big reasons to consider this site is that there is a lack of competition, which is very rare. So if we look at a very massive print-on-demand niche, anime, on Redbubble and search for it on there, then it gets 921,000 results. Obviously very oversaturated niche. If we type in the same search term on Tostadora, then we get 20,000 results back for anime. Now 20,000 is still a really big niche, but that just gives you an idea that a super massive niche on Redbubble or Amazon could be a lot smaller on Tostadora. Another example for a smaller niche that still has a lot of potential would be skateboarding. So on Redbubble, we get 30,000 results for this search term. However, on Tostadora, there's only 1,800 search results for the term skateboarding. So definitely easier to rank high or rank on the first page in a lot of these evergreen niches, which are hard to join on another platform like Redbubble. This is, I believe, how I've managed to get a lot of sales in the gaming niche on Tostadora, whilst on sites like Amazon and Redbubble, I barely ever sell gaming designs. Another good reason to start selling on Tostadora is that it's actually English for toaster, and that is just the best benefit of this website. Now, all jokes aside, they've got a funny name. It's free to start. You don't have to apply for a shop either, so very straightforward. The support team is really, really good. So I've had issues in the past where my payouts didn't really match the royalty report, and they were really good at resolving that issue and paying me the difference. Then the uploading is fairly easy and straightforward. The interface is quite old-fashioned, not very modern. However, it is fairly quick and straightforward actually uploading designs, which is a big benefit. And they've got a great royalty structure. You can change the prices of your products, and it's quite easy to get a $4 to $5 royalty per sale on t-shirts, which is also not always a given with other print-on-demand platforms. Oftentimes they've got really low royalties per sale, and their support team isn't really the greatest. So those are two massive benefits of Tostadora. In terms of what actually sells on Tostadora, first of all, I'll go into the products, then into the types of designs. When I look through my sales history of some of my better performing shops, then it is usually men's t-shirts that sell best. After that, we also get some women's and kids clothing, hoodies sell quite well, and I occasionally get a poster sale too. There is other home related products as well, but it's mainly clothing that seems to sell for me personally. In terms of the design styles, I have noticed that vintage sunsets can do quite well with and without text, and scalable designs can do decently well. So evergreen scalables, as well as simple text designs. So very basic text print-on-demand designs. The requirements here aren't like extreme, that you don't have to be very artistic. Just the very straightforward stuff that you often see selling well on Amazon, to be honest, can also do really well here on Tostadora. So to start selling your designs on Tostadora, head to their homepage, which I will link in the description of this video. And a quick tip here is to scroll down on the homepage of any print-on-demand platform really to get an idea as to what design styles work really well on this platform, because what they're advertising on the homepage is typically what sells really well. So we see a lot of clothing, a lot of t-shirts, a lot of retro fonts, retro color schemes. There's some more down here, birthday themed designs, simple text stuff just mixed with a graphic. We've got a sort of groovy design style right here. So this gives you a good idea in terms of what Tostadora sells and what they want you to upload. Obviously ignore the branded stuff, like we've got Star Wars, we've got Breaking Bad. Don't copy any of those, please, but I think you get the idea in terms of what styles can do well right here on Tostadora. So to open your first store, head over to Sell Your Designs right here in the menu, and then click on Start Selling. And this is where you'll need to enter your email address, create a password, and then accept their terms to create your free account. Once that's done, Tostadora will ask you to create a shop or the link of your shop essentially. And a few things to note here. Tostadora shops have a limit in terms of how many products you can upload to them. So the initial limit is 750 to my knowledge. And then after a few weeks, it jumps up to 2000 maximum products. Now, what I tend to do is open separate shops for the separate niches that I'm selling in. So I will have a gaming shop, an anime shop, a skateboarding shop, and that way it's sort of separated out. And if I ever hit the limit, that's not a problem, or I'm less likely to hit the limit that way. But you can also do general stores and have them mixed. Just be aware of that when selecting the shop names, etc. Because if you make niche specific shops, you would want to include some of the niche keywords in the link, in the title, etc. So in this case, let's open a skateboarding shop right here. Let's call it skater_gifts. Hit continue. Sometimes it might say that the link is taken, but then just, change it about a little bit. And then you have to enter a title, description, etc. So let's put skater gifts up here. You don't have to be too creative, by the way. I don't think too many people will actually read through all of this information before buying. Here's a quick description, so we've got that filled in as well. You can upload a main banner image and shop logo to sort of make your shop look more professional and make it more likely that Tostadora might feature it at some point and sort of push it more. But you don't have to. Like, I've got many different shops on Tostadora. I don't always select a banner image and a shop logo. You can also enter your city, country, and some social links down here if you have them. Make sure that the shop is set to active so it actually gets shown in the marketplace, and then you can decide whether you want to get an email notification when someone places a new order. And once you're done with this step, click continue. And now it's time to add our first design to this. So click on add design right here, choose it from your device, then accept their terms and hit upload. Now this is going to take a few seconds. If you wanted to add another design to the shop, you would have to click this dark black button again. So there we go. Now change the background color right here to whatever matches your design. So in my case, it's optimized for dark t-shirts. And as you can see right there, it's now updated the thumbnail image. Now you want to create a design name right here. So let's call this Skate Sunset Skateboarding Gift, and save this title right here. And then you want to add some tags to this as well. There's a limit of 10, and you also have an information button right here with some extra tips for you. So I'm just quickly going to fill this out. And then once you're done, hit create item. And that's going to bring up essentially the product catalog of Tostadora, where first of all, we've got the men's premium t-shirt as the default product, and you can change the thumbnail color right here. So I usually like to select black for these, and you can also resize or reposition the design if you want to. There's a button right here to center the design on this side. And yeah, it says $19.99 plus royalties. This is what gets configured in the next step. So I'm going to mention that in a bit. This part of the process is just selecting different products to sell the design on. So now that this is done, let's click create. Then we can move on to another product. So let's go to select product right here. And as you can see, you've got different categories of women's pajamas, hoodies, kids, etc. You've got wall art as well if you want to try out posters. And let's go ahead and select the woman's t-shirt right here. Let's just take the standard one, change this. Well, it's already selected black as default. That's good. So we can go ahead and click create for this, continue. And let's do a kids t-shirt as well. Now, one thing to mention here is that you don't have to create all of these products. That would take way too long. Let's say you are creating just a men's t-shirt, then in the search results on Tostadora, you will be found in the clothing category. And when someone clicks onto your listing, onto your design, then all of the other products will also be available. They can still choose them even if you haven't pre-configured them here. However, in your shop, like in your actual store, you will only be seeing the products that you've added through this uploader. But most people will be looking at your stuff through the actual search results. What I'm trying to say basically is you don't have to go through and select all of these products individually. As long as you add like one per category, that is going to be good enough to be found in search. All of the other products will still be available for purchase. It's just that your shop won't fill up as quickly and won't be as populated. So once you're done selecting and configuring all of the products right here, click out of this window with the X in the top right corner, and then it's going to open up the separate listings. And this is where you essentially configure the price for each one of these, it's set to the default base price where you would make 0 royalty, right? So you have to add something on top of this price. In this case, for the kids t-shirt, let's make this, let's say $20.99 and hit save. Then it's going to, you know, in European countries, when it's being shown in euros, it will probably show below 20 euros. A lot of the sales on Tostadora come from Spain, by the way. At least that's what my experience says. When a sale happens, you can actually see the buyer's location or the city that they've purchased from, and also their name. And it does seem to be a lot of, you know, Barcelona, Madrid, Spanish stuff. So I think your main target audience is going to be European, but you can also get sales in the USA. So next one, women's t-shirt and the men's t-shirt. Those I tend to price at around the 22, 23 mark right here, and make sure to always hit save for it to actually carry that price over. If you want to add more items, you can click on this button. You would have to go ahead and select your design again, which is saved in this section right here. So you can click on your design, it'll be placed on any product again that you choose. Or if you want to add a completely new design, then you have to head over to manage designs right here and click add to bring up our original window where you choose the file. And essentially you're going to have a list of different designs in your shop where you can create multiple items per design. To manage the individual items and the prices, you can head back to manage items right here in the menu, and this is what will open up. If you want to open your store and take a look at it, you can select your store from the drop down right here and then click this little symbol to open it up on the Tostadora page. So we've got 3 new items right here, as you can see. That looks pretty cool. And now if anyone were to open this up, then you can scroll down. As you can see, all of the other products are there too. It's just that they don't show up in search results or on your store page originally. You have to open up the design to get all of these other options. So I hope that makes sense. It's a bit confusing, this system with Tostadora, but you do definitely get used to it. A few more things to note. On the left-hand side, you've got sales and royalties. This tab, you can essentially look through your sales and royalties on a monthly basis. And what I like to use is the last 30 days. Here you will see the recent orders based on which store you have selected. So that way you can tell which designs have been selling and how many or how much money you've made per sale. You can also click on best selling designs to get a list of your best sellers if you wanted to. And one thing to note with the royalty payouts is that with Tostadora, they actually work on a quarterly basis. So usually you get paid monthly, but here for Q1, which is it January to March, you would get paid in April for all of those sales. Same with Q4, October, November, December. Those sales won't be paid out until the middle of January. That's one thing that was a bit confusing to me at first, but it's just a slightly different system here with Tostadora. But it's not bad because then you get a bit of a bigger payout and it feels like you've been doing better on the platform, and because it sort of gets saved up over 3 months. So I hope that's given you a good overview of the dashboard right here. You would probably have to submit some bank and tax information as well to get paid, which is all in the top row right here of these menu items. So make sure to check that out as well. If you want to add a new store, you've got this link at the bottom that will bring you back to this step right here where you have to insert a link, accept the terms, and then enter the title and description. So this next step is optional, but I still wanted to mention it because it can save you massive amounts of time. If you want to automate your uploads to Tostadora, then Flying Upload has got you covered. And I do recommend this, especially if you've got a lot of designs to go through, because rather than sit there and tediously upload everything one after another, you could be creating new designs, you could be finding new niches and do way more productive stuff instead. So Flying Upload will be linked in the description. I've also got a custom coupon or discount code that you can use if you want to get some discount. They do have a free version as well if you want to test it out first. And essentially, once the launcher opens up, you want to select the POD upload tool right here. Then you need to head to the edit window where we're going to configure our listings for the designs. So let me drag and drop a bunch of skating designs into here. So they're going to open up in a list like this. You can flick through, you can see the preview on the right hand side. You can then also configure the title, description, tags, etc. So let's go ahead and enable all the different types. First of all, for men, women and youth, this is so you can, if you've got an adult humor design or something like that, you can untick the youth option, for example. If you've got designs that are optimized for white, you can also change that over here. but in this case, black works fine. Let's go ahead and put a title, description, and tags in here, and then I will get back to you and show you some extra time-saving features for creating the other listings. So here we go. The listing is filled out. If you're wondering how I found a lot of these related keywords, I used Merch Titan's free Redbubble tag generator, which always helps me out a ton with writing these listings. Once you're done, you've got this all filled in, you might notice that the other listings are still blank. And a quick way to fix that is having the populated listing selected right here, then heading to features, bulk copy, clicking OK, and yes to continue this. And now all of these have been filled in with the same data. Now you don't want them to all have the exact same data. Ideally, you will want to make changes a bit to the title and description, swap out some keywords to hopefully target some different people as well. So if I wanted to make a change here to the title, maybe you could do something like vintage skating sunset for, let's try longboard lovers, something like this. And then you can copy the title, and as you can see, my description says design titled, so I'm going to swap this part out as well. And once you've done that for the other listings, a quick tip for the tags is you can head to features and then click shuffle all tags to place them in a different order, essentially to once again perhaps be found in different search results, and to also not be too spammy. If you've got like hundreds of designs with the same tags, then shuffling them might help you out. And the last tip I wanted to give you is in the features tab right here, there's also a bulk file name as title function. So if you've got a long list of designs that have all been titled with the primary keywords, you could click that button right here to quickly have a title for each design instantly. That can be really, really helpful if your file naming is on point. It isn't for these designs right here for me, so that wouldn't work. But nevertheless, now that all of these have been populated with listing data, we can now go ahead and upload them to Tostadora and all of the other marketplaces that are available on Flying Upload. You can see them by clicking on this back arrow right here and then clicking on upload. As you can see, there's various different platforms you can now upload your designs to, and the data is stored on your device for the listing, which is really handy because anytime you want that listing data back, you can just drag and drop the designs into this edit window and it will show back up, so you don't have to start from scratch. So before you can start uploading to Tostadora, you need to configure some settings first for the platform itself. But those settings you only really have to configure once, and then you can leave them alone for the most part. So head into the options tab, go to settings, then to templates next, and choose Tostadora from this drop down right here. This is where you choose which store you're uploading to. So this is the link of the store that we have to put in here. In my case, that was, I believe, skater_gifts. In your case, just go back to Tostadora and copy and paste the link if you want to. The marketplaces, I've got all of them enabled right here. Then the royalty, you can choose. So mine is set to $5 by default. I usually do $5 or $4 for the royalty. If you're just starting out, maybe you can price lower to make it easier to get a sale. And then if something does get a sale, you can still bump up the price later on. That is a strategy that is definitely feasible. And then we've got all of the different product types. So I've got most of them enabled here. You don't have to do that, as I mentioned, but it helps with more products showing up in search and on your store page. Now, if you do have a lot of designs and you don't want your store to fill up too quickly, then select less products right here. Because as I mentioned, there's a limit of 750 products per store, and it takes a few weeks for that to be bumped up to 2,000 max products, not designs, products. So if you're uploading, it's like 20 products right here per design. Sometimes the stores can fill up very quickly, so be aware of that. And yeah, once you're done selecting everything in here, hit save, and then you can go ahead and click start for your Tostadora upload. You might have to log into your store first for the upload to start, but you can also make that process automated. Right here in the options tab under settings, there is an auto login tab where you can essentially enter the login details for all of your platforms, and then Flying Upload will do that step automatically, so you don't have to log in every single time you start and upload. I do that, and it's been helping me a lot. I would like to press start right now and show you how this actually looks in action, but I think it's going to log into my actual Tostadora store and show off my designs and shop names, so I'm not going to do that now. But if you hit start, it will open the window and do the entire process for you automatically. In the background, you can create designs. Meanwhile, you can do research or whatever you want, watch a YouTube video, whilst Flying Upload is doing all of the uploading for you. And please bear in mind, if you do want to get a Flying Upload subscription, please use my code PhilipAnders, because that will actually get you quite a lot of discount, and it will also help me out in return. So I'd greatly appreciate that. You can get it monthly or annually. There's various different plans to suit everyone's budget. I was using the top plan right there with all of the platforms unlocked, but there's also a beginner option where I think my discount code doesn't work. But with the beginner option, you can just select one singular platform like Tostadora, for example, and start testing it that way, or just get the completely free version. I'm not sure where the link to that is, but there is definitely a free version that lets you try this out. There's a 14-day money back guarantee. So again, if you don't like it after a while, it is quite a difficult tool to learn initially. So if you can't get used to it in the first 2 weeks, you can also get your money back if that's required. Oh, here's the free version, by the way. You can sign up to it there, download the tool, and it will give you a limited amount of uploads per month, I think, with the free version. If this is the first time you've heard about Flying Upload, or you're just unsure whether it's worth it or not, make sure to check out this video next, which is my 2-year Flying Upload review, showing you the pros and cons of using upload automation.